Hello and welcome to Thunderbird Blades. My name's Neil and today I'm excited to explore the exceptional, the extraordinary, the inexpensive CIVIVI Exarch, an exquisite example of front-flipping excellence. Whew, that's a whole lot of X's, but I'm not done. I'm going to be explicit for a second. In my opinion, CIVIVI is the most exciting knife company in the industry today. No ifs or buts, they're simply killing it. High praise for the budget brand from We Knives. How do you come to that conclusion, Neil, I hear you all say? Well, somehow these guys have figured out the magic formula. They deliver exciting designs, exceptional build quality at a price point most people can afford. It's not rocket science, but it's a model that some companies just seem to struggle with. They've also tapped into something else which I think is incredibly important to mention, and that is choice. Choice of blade and scale materials. We're seeing more and more configurations available at budget price points, which is great news for us as the consumer. Long gone are the days when your only option consisted of black G10 paired with HCR. Now don't get me wrong, I likes me some G10 and this knife is draped in it. But the point is CIVIVI offers a variety of flavours such as copper, brass, carbon fibre, wood, G10, Damascus, D2, the list goes on, as standard for a lot of their models. In the last month, I've personally acquired my first copper scale knife, the Pletheros. Check out my video on this bad boy, it's flipping awesome. And this beauty, which arrived a few days ago, the Brass Dogma. You can expect to see a review of this thing pretty soon, it's stunning. It's this level of choice that makes knife collecting exciting. There's something for everyone, which is a wonderful thing. I know it sounds like I'm gushing over CIVIVI, but you know, you've just got to give respect where respect is due, and these guys absolutely deserve it. Okay, let's talk about this classy front flipper, the Exarch. Just look at it. Ding dong. I love the aesthetic. There's just beauty in its simplicity. The minimalistic design, the clean lines, the fit and finish makes this knife feel like a well-tailored suit. To be honest, I originally wanted the Damascus version of this blade, but it only came with G10 and carbon fibre overlays. And to be honest, I'm just starting to lose a little interest in that configuration. So I opted for this little black number, and I just couldn't be happier. The Exarch is currently priced at $49 from the boys over at Blade HQ, which I think is exceptional value for money. It's rocking a 3.2 inch drop point blade cut from D2, beautiful satin finish with a gorgeous hollow grind. And, you know, you just got to love the way that hollow grind captures light. Look at it. It's beautiful. It's very thin behind the edge and tapers up to a spine thickness of 0.12 inches, so it's nice and slicey. Blade centering is straight down the middle, so no complaints there. The front flipper tab has some jimping to assist with blade actuation, and while we're talking about deployment, the action on this thing is flipping awesome. It's smooth. It's precise, it's quite snappy as well. The blade is riding on cage bearings, making it very drop shutty. Have some of that. As with all knives of this type, it has a high fidget factor, and that's probably one of the primary reasons why I started falling in love with front flippers. If you haven't embraced them yet, I highly encourage you to do so. There's a little bit of a learning curve to develop the right motor skills. Some of these knives are easier to flip than others, but it's very rewarding when it clicks, and it opens up a whole new avenue of collecting. The Exarch is coming in at a fighting weight of 2.61 ounces, which for me is in the Goldilocks zone. It's light in the pocket, but not so light that I don't know it's there. Moving on down the knife, we have these nicely chamfered G10 scales. Look at those. They're pretty, aren't they? CIVIVI does a really great job with their G10. Stippling is uniform, looks clean, provides a good amount of grippage as well. Sitting under the scales, we have the skeletonized steel liners with a bead blasted finish. Unfortunately, I've got to knock a few points off of this knife simply because the lock bar doesn't lock up quite as much as I would like. But given it's a gentleman type folder, it should hold up okay. This shallow lock bar access channel is a nice touch. I grasped about the absence of one in my copper Pletheros videos, so it's really great to see them include one on this budget beauty. At the back end of the merchandise, we have CIVIVI's standard loop over deep carry pocket clip. I think this thing looks great. It's super duper deep carry. It also has the same bead blasted finish as the liners and comes with recessed screws. It's also fully reversible, which is good news for goofy flipsters. There's a lot to love about it for sure, but, and it's a big but, they've gone to a lot of effort to make this a great pocket clip, and then they go and spoil it all by placing the foot on top of the scale. Why? Why would you do that to a CIVIVI? Why? If only they'd recessed the foot like their parent company did on the Banter, this would have been the perfect pocket clip. So close. Okay, here's one thing about the knife that confuses me. It's the absence of this second hex screw on the show side scale. I don't know about you, but I think the knife would just look more complete if that hole was filled. Anyway, enough talk about filling holes. Time for a quick size comparison. Okay, let's bring in the Kaiser Genie, an amazing knife. Check out my video on that one as well. And the legendary McKenna, one of the all-time greats. Overall length on the Exarch from tip to tail is 7.33 inches. Looking at this lineup, it's fair to say it sits comfortably in the mid-size category. I know I've said this about the Genie in a past video, and I'll say it again here. None of these front flippers look intimidating and murderous, especially the Exarch with its conservative profile. You could pull any of these out, and in most scenarios, people wouldn't freak out. Okay, final thoughts. I can't express enough how much I love this knife. I chose this model over its sister, the Chronic, because 1, I have a front flipping fetish, and 2, I prefer the cleaner lines of the drop point versus the clip point blade. I think this platform shows a new level of maturity and confidence from CIVIVI. Sometimes less is more. Not all knives need to be way out there on the cutting edge of hyperknife design. It's just, I don't know, it's just incredible to think that CIVIVI as a brand has only been around since 2018. As I said in my opening monologue, CIVIVI is the most exciting knife company right now, and there's plenty more models in their portfolio for us to explore, so expect to see some more of the merchandise on the channel. As far as the Exarch goes, it's exceeded all of my expectations. You need to get one. You won't regret it, I promise. Alright, that's it for today. If you like the video and want to see more, please click the like and subscribe buttons. If you think this sucks, you're always welcome to click the dislike button twice. Thanks so much for your time, stay safe, and as always, keep flipping awesome knives.